Hey there, welcome back to Digipack Snacks. My name is Colin.
And I'm Meg.
And this is a family travel podcast where we chat all the highs and the lows and the long miles in between of traveling with kids. And this week we just have a great episode for y'all.
Got lots of hot topics.
A lot of burning questions.
Ooh, it's hot in here.
And we have a really fun deal of the week that we're going to chat about. And I'm super excited. But first, man, I don't even want to talk about the week yet because you just came back from the doctor's office.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I felt bad. It was their annual well visits, and I just didn't think about it because we haven't been in like 2 years. They're like, oh, we haven't seen Liv since right before she turned 3. And I was like, oh, well, she's doing great. Anyway.
She's alive.
It was just 2.5 hours of eye checks and shots and finger pricks.
Yeah.
And I went alone. So it was like a roller coaster of emotions for everyone involved. But we made it out alive.
They're enjoying their snack.
And like limping.
Because
if there's a shot in any arm or leg that it doesn't work today.
Charlotte said she couldn't eat her noodles for lunch because her arms doesn't work.
Her arms don't work, right.
But then she could eat chips.
Right.
Yeah.
It's selective what they work for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a fun week. And speaking of Liv, she just turned 5. We had a great birthday.
Well, technically tomorrow, but we had her party over the weekend. And Liv kind of takes after us that about a week before her party, originally she only wanted to invite little people, like meaning people her age and not her sister's age. Mm-hmm. But then a week before her party, it became
everyone. Her party had a higher attendance than mine.
Yeah, she invited anyone that she loves and saw in life, and they all showed up.
Ages 2 to 80 something.
Yeah, and they all came. It was really sweet.
Yeah, really sweet. And then and we also bought a bouncy house from Sam's Club because to rent something like that was going to be almost the price of just buying one.
Well, to rent it twice because we have 2 birthday parties coming up soon.
And so we're like, let's just buy a bouncy house. And so now we are a family, proud owners of a bouncy house.
We're the ones that when we bought it, we were like, oh, this will be so cool. Maybe when friends have parties, they'll say, hey, can we borrow your bouncy house? We'll give you like $40-$50 for the day. And then I thought, yeah, but when our friends do that and, thinking, oh, we'll make our money back. This will be great. It'll be like we didn't even buy it. Girl math, it was going to be a lot of girl math. But then I'm thinking, no, pretty much if anybody texted me and asked for it, I'd refuse payment. So we're not going to make any of that money back. Sorry.
No. And I don't want to be bouncy house guy.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I just meant it would be convenient. But, girl math, when I was buying it, I said, well, this isn't as expensive as I thought because I'm going to make all this money back.
Yeah, you thought all of South Carolina was going to get in on it.
Yeah, but I was going to be like, Bouncy House by Meg. The business started and ended in that thought, but just long enough for me to hit purchase.
Bye. Yeah. Anyways, we have one. If you guys want to borrow it, come over, come grab it.
Yeah, if you want to drive from out of town just to get it for the day, you'll still probably save money getting ours.
Come say hi. What else is going on, Megan?
I don't know. You were gone. That's always fun for you.
I mean, I was gone for a work orientation.
Yeah.
I've transitioned into a full-time position, Megan.
In this mystery job that you do.
No, I work for a company called Apartment Life, and it's really cool. I got to be in Dallas for 2 days meeting all my colleagues from across the U.S., and it's just, it's a gift to our family. But when I heard that it was going to be in Dallas, my heart fluttered because you know why?
I don't know why.
Because the nation's first Capital One lounge is in the DFW airport.
Did you not take a later flight back just so you'd have time to hang there?
Well, conveniently, because we fly out of a very small airport, there's only 2 flights back home. And so other people had 1 hour layovers and I had a 4-hour layover. And I said, wow, the travel credit card fairies are blessing me. And so you want to hear a review?
Yeah, tell me what it was like.
Because we've had the Venture X for almost 3 years now. We got it when it first came out, and there's only been 1 lounge in DFW. There's now one in the Dulles Airport in DC, and there's one in Denver coming soon. and it's a premium lounge. You know, kind of think your Amex Centurion lounge type lounges. I've said lounge a lot. But I went and I got to bring 2 colleagues with me because you can bring 2 guests for free, and kids under 12 is free. So
we could show up there with a party of 6.
4.
Well, if the girls are free, we could bring 2 friends.
Yeah, pick 2 random strangers.
Oh,
what a fun thing. So if you see us at the DFW airport, be kind to us. No, so I went in, the vibe was, in DFW airport is already amazing. It's like you feel like you're somewhere international. I love it. I love how it's in one big circle. You're never walking far. There's the SkyTrain. And then so we get to the lounge. My colleagues and I are like, all the way up the elevator. It's just cool, y'all. We walk in, there's all kinds of food in small plates. They're going with like a tapas style, but small plates meaning like mac and cheese with bacon. There's like meatball sliders. There's like prosciutto with Spanish ham. There's all kinds of pickles, cheeses. There's even like Indian curry chicken. There's like soups. And then...
So the reason that you didn't answer my call or text messages yesterday wasn't just because your phone was conveniently in your sling. It was because you were indulging in all of this food.
Well, you called me while we were chatting it up, talking about, Netflix shows and The Bachelor.
With your prosciutto and Indian curry in front of you.
Yeah. And then they have a bar. Top shelf liquor is, you do have to pay for that. But, you got all your beer and your wine and your, regular house cocktails. But then they had a frozen Irish coffee machine. I indulged in that. They also have like all these different taps for all kinds of drinks, your Diet Cokes, your lemonades, all that kind of stuff. But it looks like they come in these like vintage custom taps. And then my favorite one was the giraffe latte. Like literally, it was an oat milk latte on tap that you could have. You called me on FaceTime. I answered finally. I needed some privacy, so I went in one of the prayer rooms, and it was really cool.
That's awesome. So tell the people, if they want access to a lounge like this, what do they need to do to get this Venture X card?
Yeah, you can simply sign up with the link below in the show notes. It's our favorite travel card because I met some colleagues this week that are also like real travel people and do travel hacking and all that kind of stuff. They live in Dallas, so they're like, naturally we went with the American Airlines card. And that's cool if you live in Dallas. Or if you live in Atlanta, then you are like a Delta person. But if you're someone like us, and most Americans, most travel credit card consumers do not live in like hubs. So I feel like the Venture card is the best bet because you can go any airline. You earn 2x miles, you apply the link below, and you can access the Capital One Lounge, 3 cities, hopefully by the end of this year. But then also you get free membership to Priority Pass lounges. And that's what we 99% of the time use when we travel all around the world.
Yeah, and they're all right.
Well, the ones in America
are all right. The international ones are really nice. You get somewhere to sit that's not just the terminal, and you get food that's included. Yeah. But sometimes they're better than other times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like some cities, like I said, the one in Guatemala that we went to.
It was like a sit-down restaurant. It was incredible.
The nicest thing ever in the small, tiny airport. And so you just never know.
You never know.
Right. And
it's a fun game to play.
It's a fun game. I know. I know like Megan rags on me all the time because just to get past security is hard. And then
just to wake up, get everyone to the airport, get everyone dressed, get through security. Then you're like a little bit sweaty. Maybe the person that had to check your bags wasn't super kind.
TSA pulled you randomly.
And then Colin says, hey, it's a 14-minute walk to get our free lunch. And I'm looking at a Chick-fil-A going, why? Why am I going to walk 14 minutes?
Right.
Sometimes it's worth it, though.
Well, my version of girl math is like, I'm going to get a coffee while I'm here. So why not just get it for free? Yeah. And it's always a little bit quieter. Granted, yesterday, the Capital One Lounge was busy. But then you linger around, 15 minutes later, a whole couch opened up.
Yeah, everyone's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to our next segment.
Which is our brand new segment. We're calling this the Deal of the Week. So,
Bam, bam, bam.
I know we need fun music. Okay, this week's Deal of the Week is coming to you by, again, our friends at Going. And we are going to the exotic Liberia airport of Costa Rica. For how much? How much, Megan?
I don't
500?
know. You didn't tell
600?
me.
No.
Probably less.
$300
Nice.
out of Greenville, Spartanburg, and many major eastern cities in the U.S. And I'm telling you, Liberia, Costa Rica is where you want to fly into.
And it's where all the resorts are, where
Yep.
a lot of the famous beaches are, where the turtle hatchings are.
Yep.
There are a lot of things on that side. Not everything. So you might
Not
end up
everything.
still driving around. It just
You won't
depends.
see a volcano on that
right.
side.
Or you'd have to drive there.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on what you're looking to do. But I think that it's a great option if you're looking to spend some time on the ocean. And that's a great deal.
Yeah. And this week, we have a really special treat for you guys. One of our best friends and listener of this here pod, Gabby, she actually texted us last week. She goes, you guys have to go to Las Catalinas. And I'm like, okay, great. And then when I saw that this week's deal was Costa Rica, Liberia Airport, which is not too far away from Las Catalinas, I said, give me all your intel. And she delivered. I said, tell me in 30 seconds why Las Catalinas is the next hottest destination in Costa Rica. And she said, I'll do you one better. She sent me like 8 voice messages. And what's cool about this is, it makes me so happy that people listen to the podcast. They want to contribute. And so if you're listening to this and you know some great destinations and you just want to tell us about it, like, voice messages. We would love to hear you guys chime into all this. But second of all, Gabby is actually half Costa Rican.
So she knows.
So she knows. She goes back on family vacations and sees family there. But at the same time, still has... What's cool is that she still appreciates Costa Rica as a tourist destination, right? Like, I love my hometown in Malaysia. I don't know if I would tell the world, come here.
Well, babe, that's not really fair because Costa Rica and Tawau, Malaysia, I don't know.
Very different.
They're not comparable.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
like she's from a destination.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Malaysia has its destinations.
Yeah. Just not your hometown.
Right.
You are good. You sell Malaysia really well as
Yeah.
a place to go explore and be outside and see
Yeah.
wildlife, but you just don't tell people to like come home with you.
I don't tell anyone that but you, Megan.
Thanks. I feel
But
special.
but if you do make it to Tawau, Malaysia, like we'll eat like nonstop. One of my friends asked me yesterday, so like, what's like the eating patterns? Do you guys eat one big meal during the day?
Oh my gosh, they eat like 8 big meals a day.
I said, that's all we know how to do. We just know how to eat. And so I'm excited for our Asia trip coming up. Anyways, okay, Costa Rica. So here we go. This is voice text number 1 from Gabby. Here we go. Message number 1. You ready?
Catalinas it's a new beach town, only constructed 10 years ago. All of the buildings, everything there is lush, new, up-to-date, state-of-the-art, but all the buildings look historic. They've taken every opportunity to make it look like an old town. You're in the safety in the beautiful lush jungle of Costa Rica, but it also feels like you're walking through an ancient city in Greece or Italy. Bright, brilliant colors everywhere. The food's delicious. High level of cooking everywhere. Chefs, wonderful. The drinks, amazing. The best thing is there are no cars. This is a car-free town that was constructed with the idea of community, with the idea of walking everywhere so that you're staying super healthy at all times.
That sounds like a dream.
I know. And okay, here it gets even better. Are you
Okay,
ready?
yes.
And for less than $400, someone from Las Catalinas will come and pick you up at the closest airport, which is the Liberia airport. It's only an hour away. And they will pick you up, bring you to Las Catalinas, and they will take you back to the airport when it's time for you to leave. So you can fly to Costa Rica, get picked up, experience the most beautiful time in their small, new, beautiful beach town, and you don't even need to worry about a rental car at all. They will take care of transportation for you, and once you're there, you don't need a car. But if you do want a car, they have the hydrogen-powered Toyota that you can sign up to use, and you can travel around the Guanacaste area of Costa Rica and explore to your heart's desire without even using electricity or a gas-powered vehicle.
I mean, talk about like a plug-and-play vacation.
Yeah,
First
that's
of all,
awesome.
you fly, there's deals to Costa Rica all the time. I know this was deal of the week, but really, we see deals to Costa Rica all the time. And the big thing that we've been getting, actually a lot of people have been asking us questions about Costa Rica recently. I don't know why.
I think it's just one of those destinations that people see as accessible because the plane ride there
Right.
isn't that far from most East Coast cities.
Yeah.
And so but it also feels really different.
Yeah.
You know, you've got volcanoes and hot springs and jungle and beaches and wildlife that we don't have here. So it just feels like a win because you get that new culture, new experiences, but you're not having to travel all the way to Asia.
Right. And the thing about the vehicles is so key, y'all, because when we booked a rental car in Costa Rica, you know, we booked it through Hertz and it was like $300. I was like, wow, this is amazing. But once you get to the country, they will add on local insurance on top of that can cost astronomical. Mm-hmm. And so
what's an example? How much do you remember?
Like I think we paid close to $800 or $900 total.
Like
for the vehicle.
Okay, so they added on a good amount once we got there.
Right. And this is not just an us thing. Friends of ours that have just gone recently, also he paid almost $1,200 for 3 weeks or 4 weeks in Costa Rica. And so the fact that you can get to Las Catalinas without a vehicle, and then once you're there, you're driving a hydrogen-powered vehicle.
That is so
what
cool.
is that?
I think for me, I love that she shared about this, and I love this as an option for somebody that's looking to maybe travel internationally, but doesn't want the adventure, like doesn't want the itinerary where you're sleeping in a new bed every night. They just want the experience of a new culture, a new food, a beautiful place. It kind of sounds like an all-inclusive resort mixed with like a European vacation because you're getting
mixed with like Caribbean vibes.
Yeah, you get to walk around, but you get to pick the different restaurants that you're going to, and you're not necessarily bound to like one place.
Yeah.
You get to go, you know, wherever you want to walk to.
Right.
So I think that sounds incredible.
Yeah, and it's in the Guanacaste province, which she said, and that is where like we had the best time seeing turtles hatching. You can go see turtles nesting, catch an aribara. And that is also where Charlotte went for surf lessons. And so like it's the perfect coast for like a beach vacation with a Costa Rican twist. I love it.
Man, what a great deal. And
Yeah.
thanks, Gabby, for giving us some tips on where the people can go.
Where do people can go? And if you have more questions about that, please ask us, and we can even connect you with Gabby. Gabby, I'm sorry, we're gonna just you're gonna be the Costa Rican ambassador of Digipack Snacks over there in Costa Rica. How are things going? No, but I'm sure Gabby would be happy to answer questions. She also told us a lot of things, so we can help you as well. But yeah, you want to go at the right months, the green months, so that it's a lot cheaper than your hot, dry months. I say months, very Asian. It's months.
It's okay. People know.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of times you say things and I'm just like, the people know.
Okay.
The people know that this is your third language.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to someone last week and she didn't know what my family looked like. She was like, I don't know if your wife speaks English or not. I know you travel a lot. And so I showed her a picture. She goes, oh, okay.
You're like, oh, my wife's as American as they come.
Yeah, blonde hair, hazel eyes, military kid.
Military kid.
Let's go.
No, but the last thing I will say that Gabby mentioned, I heard her talk about how there was a grocery store that had like chicken nuggets for kids.
Right.
And basically, if you wanted to eat at home and you were bringing kids and you didn't want to eat out every meal, that everything you need, you can walk there. You can get the groceries that you need and cook your meals at home.
And that's also another reason why I loved how she chimed in, because Gabby is not just Gabby. Gabby is a mom, a mom of 2 boys. And so look at us uniting the moms and dads,
Yes.
which is like the heartbeat of this podcast and what I hope it will be.
So if you are new to the podcast or you've been around for a while, we are trying to hit a goal on how many reviews we have on the podcast.
Yeah.
Where are we now?
We are at about high 40s.
We're high 40s, and we'd really love to get past 60 reviews.
No, I'm going 100, Megan.
Now come on, attainable goals here. I mean, the big goal is 100, but we'd really love to reach 60 reviews for the podcast. So if you're new or you've been listening for a while and you haven't done that yet, it would mean the world if you went over to Apple Podcasts and left a review. You can also follow and rate our podcast on Spotify and follow along on YouTube at Colin and Meg, where we share our podcast in video form, and we also share our travel videos there. We have one from the Faroe Islands that's doing really well, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
The people must like it.
My favorite one is doing well, and nothing makes me happier.
Colin spent a lot of time on it, and we have more coming soon. So you'll get a mixture there of the podcast and also travel vlogs when we have those to edit. So that's how you can find us. Say hi to us. Send us a DM. We're on Instagram at Colin and Meg. We're here to chat. So if you have questions, that's one way that you can connect with us.
That should be our tagline. Here to chat.
We're here to chat.
Okay, Megan, this is it. We've made it.
To
the burning questions.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
This is the most exciting part because it feels like you're Ellen DeGeneres and I am her sidekick, and we are just chatting with our friends.
Yes.
They ask us their burning questions that they have to know about, and then we get to answer them.
It's the best.
Right. Are our answers professional and accurate?
Not always.
Maybe.
Sometimes.
Depending on the season.
Depending on the question.
Depending on the weather.
Depending on many variables.
But we got some really fun questions today, and I'm just gonna jump right into it. And number one, it didn't come from one person, didn't come from two, not three. It came from a lot of people over an extended period of time. But people have to know, Megan, where are those jeans from? And you know what, guys? You know what? She's wearing them right now. Megan, stand up on a chair.
I'm not standing up.
Come on.
No, because the best part is the booty, and I don't want to show the people the booty.
Okay, you don't have to. Just give us...
No,
just
it's
show
okay.
some denim.
I'm just going to talk about him.
Show some denim.
I'm just going to talk about him. So I only brought 2 pairs of jeans to our Iceland Faroe Islands trip because, packing in a carry-on. And I didn't know that one of the pairs would go over really well.
Because she's not getting up there.
You're so funny.
There you have it. Good thing I'm also the editor of this podcast. Here we go. But yeah, I love how...
Stop. Oh, Lord. Okay, so I only brought 2 pairs of jeans on that trip. These were photographed a lot, and the people love them, which honestly just makes me feel great because I love them too. And before I tell you where they're from, the thing that I'm 35 years old, okay? I am trying to stay with it in terms of fashion. I don't want to dress like a 20-year-old, but I also want to be on trend.
Yeah.
And the people got rid of skinny jeans, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out in my body, how do I wear jeans that are on trend? And y'all, I tried on so many pants. And I would stand in the dressing room and go, I just can't. I can't make these work. And then I'd study what other people are wearing. So anyway, I found these. I feel like they fit the bill because they're wide a little bit. But like I said, they fit you in the hips and the booty. So you just feel like I still got shape,
Yeah.
I'm not wearing like Jinko wide leg jeans.
Jinko.
That's from back in the day, like middle school. Jinko was in and they were super wide leg.
Okay.
So these are from Free People.
They don't touch the ground, these.
No.
Yeah.
These are from Free People. They're called the Tinsley Mid-Rise Baggy Jean.
Done.
And I'm going to tell you
Add
a trick.
to cart.
We'll leave the link below, but I'm going to tell you a trick. My first pair I got from freepeople.com. They're a little bit pricey.
Yeah.
This second pair that I'm wearing, I had to get in a different size. And I went to Poshmark.com.
Yeah.
And I had Poshmark credits because I sell things there. But even if I didn't, they were selling these used for $35.
Wow.
So I got the same pair that I paid full price for for $35. So now I have 2 pairs.
For less than a tank of gas, you have incredible street credibility.
And you'll be complimented. Even yesterday in the wild, somebody came up to me and asked where my jeans are from. And this has never happened to me. So I'm just going to vouch for them. Yeah. Everybody loves them.
I was with some colleagues this past week and they were exchanging like jeans, like where do you get them? Where do you get them? And I had to restrain myself.
My wife gets them.
Yeah.
She has a really good pair. People really like them.
So yeah.
Anyway, yes.
How does this relate to travel?
This relates to travel. No, it does, because when you're traveling, you can't bring very many. Like, you need to bring 1 or 2 pairs of pants.
Yeah.
You're bringing 1 jacket, maybe 2 sweaters.
Yeah.
So you have to bring things that make you feel good and that you can wear 5 times without washing.
Right.
These fit the bill.
And these work with Vans. These work with your Chucks. These
with
work
Converse.
with your sneakers.
Oh yeah, Chucks, Converse,
all
same
of it.
thing. I dated myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so another burning question. We've had a lot of people, again, more than 5. That's a lot for us.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of people.
Usually there's 1.
with the same question, yeah. We've had many people ask what you're using to shoot video, photos, because I think especially from Iceland and the Faroes, people want to know what your setup is.
Okay, so our current setup is we have a Fuji X-T4. It's not a new camera. It's a little older, but it still is one of the best mid-level video cameras that you can do. It does photo, it does video, both really, really well, which is why we picked it, because I'm not carrying a kid stroller and then having to switch between a video lens or a photo lens. I wanted something that could do both. And so, which is why we had the Fuji. It has amazing color setups, color profiles built into the camera. It's that classic Fuji film look. We have a 18-55 2.8 lens. I use a Rode mic as a shotgun mic, and that has been our vlogging setup for several years now. And so I can go make our vlogs, film our vlogs, and then switch to photo mode really fast. So that's the short answer to the camera setup question. And then, but a lot of people ask us, and this is just my general assumption, they are not hobbyists like me. So like when I go out, I want to get like the best photo of a horse there is, or a puffin, right? But a lot of people, they're going on their vacation and they want something better than their iPhone, and so that's where a lot of the questions are coming from too, which I have answered different ways. And the main question that I asked them is, after the vacation, after your trip, do you see yourself sitting down, taking a memory card out of the camera, putting it onto a laptop, getting new software to edit and create art? If that is you, then you should totally get all the stuff. If that is not you, then I'm going to say go to the cell phone store and upgrade your iPhone to the best one available.
Yeah, and then maybe purchase some like presets from creators out there. Maybe Colin will sell his one day. I always keep telling him that he needs to.
No, because there's already a million out there.
I know, but then you use the presets and you can edit your photos on your phone. And I think for a lot of people, that's enough. Mm-hmm. I will say though, being not a photographer myself, I do think that there's a level to what you do that's just talent. When Colin's taking a picture and I'm taking a picture of the same thing, they just look different. And I haven't invested much effort into learning how to become a better photographer yet. And so I will say, yeah, maybe you have an iPhone, but maybe you also pay for a course where you could learn a few tips to help you capture things in the way that you see other people doing it.
Yeah.
Because I do think that that's an element. Like, yeah, you need the right tool, but you also need to kind of invest some time into developing that skill set so that you can take the photo that you want to take.
Yeah.
So if that's something that just makes you curious, that you're getting excited about, I would say that it's kind of a twofold thing to pay attention to. But yeah, and just be creative and just start getting out there.
Now, if I ever did a photo course,
I think you should.
If I ever did that, this is my secret recipe. You ready? It could be boiled down to these 3 words.
Okay, so none of you have to come. He's telling you right now.
It's composition, it's movement, and it's emotion. I mean, if you have those 3 things and you set your camera on auto mode, it's going to be great. If it speaks to you, it's a great photo. You know?
Yeah.
There. Done.
Done.
Come to my TED Talk.
Okay, so our next burning question is from our friend Sarah. She said, "Hey, Colin and Meg. Hope you and your family are doing well.
We're
Love
doing great.
following your journey on here. So sweet.
Thanks.
Our best friends just moved to Malaysia, and James and I, along with our 3 kids, want to visit them within the next 2 years. But I really want to try and get the best deal on flights. I saw you post about Hello Going, but I would love some tips on getting good tickets, but also traveling that far with 3 kids."
Wow. Loaded question.
Loaded question. Let's start with the plane tickets, because you've bought a lot of plane tickets from the States to Malaysia over
Yep.
the years. And
Yes.
so what is a deal to you? Like, what should someone expect to pay if they're getting a deal?
Yeah. I've been doing this for 12 years. A deal to me is something that is below $800. If it's below $600, you drop what you're doing and you buy it.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is also from a major hub in the US. Now, we know Sarah personally, so we know they're on the East Coast. And so, and those numbers work great. And so that would be my suggestion. If you cannot find a deal to Kuala Lumpur, you can also find deals to Bangkok, Thailand, to Singapore, to even Manila. You can, and that could be a fun layover or stopover, and then that was what's gonna take you to Malaysia.
Yeah. And I would say that when you're booking your tickets, that you're just trying to look for the one that gets the price point the closest. But like our trip from here to Hong Kong in a few weeks, we paid, if we just had paid cash, do you remember what the price would have been?
It was $700.
$700. So that's like a very realistic, we're flying in the month of November. It costs us $700 a person. And this is also just a plug that if you're looking to go within the next 2 years, it would be a great time to invest in a credit card that gives you travel points.
And what card should they get?
Capital One Venture, link below.
Yeah, Venture X even, because they have beautiful lounges across the globe.
Yeah, but I would say the tip, like Colin was saying, is to look for any major city close to where you want to end up. And then you would just take a domestic flight on Malaysia Airlines or
AirAsia.
Scoot.
Yeah.
There are a couple different ones that you could use to get from that city to your final destination in Malaysia.
Yeah, but the credit card strategy to me is the way to go. If you have a trip that you're thinking about going in the next 2 years, I mean, sign up for a credit card right now, get that credit card bonus, and then with the bonus, you can probably fly for free, Sarah. And then in the next 3-4 months as you grow, or here's another strategy, even better. You and your husband can both apply for the same card and you can both get your bonuses. So you both will fly free all the way to Asia, book it through the Capital One portal. And as you earn money and spend and, change your spending habits, you probably don't need to spend all your money on with your credit card. But hey, tax season's coming up. Pay your taxes with the credit card, and then another child gets to go for free. And by the end of it, you're either paying all for free or one ticket,
Yeah.
And so because you have time's on your side. So that is how to get to Malaysia. But the second question is...
Well, no, there was one more tip.
Oh, okay.
You also, when you go to Hello Going, you can sign up to get notified.
Yes.
So if you have certain destinations that you are just especially interested in, and maybe your destination city can change, because we've shared here that we fly out of Atlanta, Charlotte, Washington, D.C., or New York.
Sometimes JFK, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, because we'll just take an extra flight to get that cheap ticket price. So you can have notifications set up. What's it called on the website?
It's actually a new feature. It's called Watch List. It lets you put in 3 places on your list of places you want to go. And they recommend one place, a place where a loved one is staying. Number 2, a favorite spot in the world, and a bucket list destination could be your third. So I put in Kuala Lumpur as my first. I put in New Zealand as my bucket list destination. I put in Queenstown, New Zealand. And then the last one, a spot that I want to go to, it says favorite spot, but I've never been there before. So I put Tokyo. And so now it'll notify me when there are deals to those places. And you can list as many airports as you want in your departure settings. So I have it East Coast, West Coast, Third Coast, which is Nashville, all of it, just to have my options out there.
That's awesome. And the second part of her question was tips for traveling with 3 kids. We do have another podcast that we talk about tips for traveling with kids on airplanes.
Yeah.
But I would say just off the top of my head, our number one thing is bring enough snacks, bring enough food. We let our kids listen to things and watch things. So we have Yodo players where they can listen to audiobooks. We bring iPads where we pre-download movies or shows that we approve of from like apps like Disney. And then finally, you can bring something just to keep busy, like something to color or, you know, something that doesn't have a lot of small pieces. And all of those things combined, I think, give you the best chance at having a successful flight.
Yeah.
And then some people have a lot of questions about where to sit on airplanes. And I would always say on a flight that long, you just all want to sit together.
Right.
You don't want to split up. You just want to be together.
Want to hear my golden rule?
What's your golden rule?
My golden rule is if I'm having fun, the kids are having fun. If I'm in a good mood, they're in a good mood. So take care of yourself. Put on that oxygen mask on yourself before you help your kids. Meaning,
Pack snacks for yourself.
Yeah,
Pack
get
books
your
for
favorite
yourself.
snack. Get your favorite book. Download your favorite shows. And when you are taken care of, I feel like I have more capacity to also watch other people as well.
That's a good tip.
Wow. But the best tip of all is to just keep listening to the podcast.
Yes, we'll help you out. We're about to do a huge international trip. We are flying really far away. I can't actually think about it yet because it's just going to be a long flight. So we'll have some hot tips come mid-November that we can share in real time about how we navigate flying over there with our 2 kids.
Yep. All right, Meg. Last burning question. Go for it.
Last burning question from a listener named Jennifer. Hey there. I'm about to start planning a 3 to 5 week European trip with our 4 kids, ages 2 months to almost 5 years.
All right. Way to go.
I have 2 pressing questions that I haven't figured out. First, I'm wondering about a backpack for the older 2. They will be newly 4 and 5.5 at the time of travel. I noticed you had the Walker Goods Aero bag, but I can't figure out if having it open all the way is a good or bad thing for us. I'd be interested to hear your experience. So we have it here, the one that we bought for the girls. I love Walker Goods products. What she was mentioning, I'm not going to do it on camera because it'll just be too loud, but this whole zipper does open so it can be a live flat backpack. And I do think that
It won't be too loud.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Colin wants me to show you.
People want to know.
I do think that that's a great feature if you're like, for some variations of play or being able to access everything inside of the bag. But I get what you're saying about it also maybe not being a great feature if when they open the bag, everything just falls out. You know, so it kind of works really well, in my opinion, for books and notebooks and an iPad. But if you're stuffing a backpack full of things that you need to rummage around in, like snacks and a sweater, they also have a backpack called the Tommy bag or the Tommy pack. And that looks more like a traditional backpack. If you wanted to get something from Walker Goods, like I said, we love them. Their backpacks will last forever. They're made really well. Or we actually got a similar size bag from the Target section, from the women's section at Target. We have one that's black, one that looks like kind of leather, but it's not real. And they're kind of that mid-size backpack, so not like a school size, a little bit smaller than that. And those were, not expensive at all. And they've done really well. I mean, they hold what they need to hold.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it just depends what you're wanting to bring with you. But I do agree with you that I think a bag just opening from the top may be best for that age range, because the last thing that you want is your 4-year-old. You want them to be able to sit in their seat and do as much independently as they can, because you have 2 other younger kids that you're taking care of. And so if they open their bag and things are flying everywhere, that's not a win for you. So I think that you're on the right track in getting something that just opens from the top. So like I said, you can check out Walker Goods, the Tommy pack, or look at Target or Walmart for just something in that mid-size range.
Right.
The second question is, I'm wondering what kind of camera you have. I have a DSLR, but I'm looking to upgrade.
Yeah.
And if you listened to the podcast, now you know, Colin kind of shared about his Fuji a few minutes ago.
Yep. And Jennifer, because you are a DSLR person and you probably enjoy editing photos, then you could upgrade to what I have is a Fuji. I'm not sure what you have, but whatever it is, I used to be a Canon guy. I love Canons. I love Sonys. A lot of my friends use Sonys. So we're fans of it all, except for Nikon. I don't know much about Nikon. All the Nikon people are going to hate me for this. But yeah, go for it. We have the Fuji X-T4, like I already said. So.
But that's really exciting. And I just want to applaud you for bringing 4 kids with your youngest being 2 months. That is amazing, and you're going to have a best time. It doesn't say where you're headed, but please share your journey with us because we'd love to follow along your European adventure.
Well, we're going to send her a link to this podcast, and then I hope that she replies with her whole itinerary.
So we can chat about it.
Right, and yes, you want to get a good backpack because you want to stuff.
You said backpack.
Okay. You want to get a good backpack because you want to stuff as many chocolate croissants in there.
That's true.
Yeah. And all the European chocolate, like Cadbury, get as much Cadbury chocolate in there, and your kids are going to be happy.
Your kids are going to be happy. And your kids' backpacks are for their snacks, their toys, whatever you need them to carry, maybe an extra sweater. And then
a thin blanket.
You need a good backpack too. So make sure to think about that because you're going to be carrying all the essentials, the medicine, stuff. The diapers, the wipes, all the things. Well, that was it, babe. We've
come to the end.
We've come to the end.
Thanks for checking this episode out. Come back next week. Do not forget to pack snacks. And again, send us reviews, travel itineraries, or just send us a coffee. We hope to see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.